Great morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, Saturday morning for our reading club. Mr. Fernando Ramirez, one question for you. Is Mr. Wilner going to be our reader today, or is that my position?
And that's your position, Dr. G.W. Parker. He's going to be presenting, I believe, you're both presenting, right, this morning?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, no, it's he's presenting. You're reading.
Okay, good deal. That's it then. We're good to go. So, guys, let's get on with it. Send out those last minute texts, make those last minute phone calls. We normally have far more people on the platform by now. We're going into chapter five today. The book is Get Excited and Stay Broke Forever. And once we're done here, we're going to get into the PowerPoint presentation with Mr. Eric Wilner. So, guys, I'm excited about it. Send out those last minute texts, make those last minute phone calls. We're going to jumpstart this thing this morning. Lovely welcome to the platform out of Tampa, Florida, Mr. Marvin McGee. Welcome, Ron Copeland. Good to see you, Alicia. Always a pleasure. Fernando, once again, thank you for putting all this together. Guys, we're loading up. Let's get a few more people on and we'll get started. Mr. Early, all the way from Germany. Welcome to the platform, sir. Once again, guys, send out those last minute texts, make those last minute phone calls. We're about to launch something special here. This is our reading club every Saturday morning. The featured book this morning, I'm honored to say, is Get Excited or Stay Broke Forever. We're in chapter 5. And we'll begin there today, and that might be as far as we go. There are a few pages here, but we're going to get into some lengthy discussion. But I think we're going to hit on some topics that are really going to move us this morning. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. We'll give it one more minute before we get started. Once again, welcome to our morning reading club. Without fail, every Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m., we're here to share the excitement, the good news. We want to pour into people and we want to grow ourselves. So that's why we're here. We're surrounding ourselves with like-minded individuals. So I'm fired up about this morning. Again, the book is called Get Excited or Stay Broke Forever. My name is Gerald W. Parker. I'll be your reader for chapter 5 this morning. So let's go ahead and get started. And if you've got the book, again, chapter 5, that will be page 14. And I'm actually going to put on my readers here so that we can get going. Um, Fernando, are we good to go, sir?
We are good to go. You sound loud and clear, look sharp, bulletproof.
Okay. Okay, guys, let's get it done. So once again, let's get
Strong as,
started.
as, strong, as strong as thunder.
10 feet tall, bulletproof, as strong as thunder. That's Fernando and I's favorite saying, and we live by it, guys, and we love it. It's about attitude. We do know that, and this book kind of talks about that as well. But chapter 5, the title of the chapter is Broke Beliefs versus Wealth Beliefs, and we'll begin our reading. In this chapter, we establish that money is a mindset. Now it's time to get surgical. I kind of like the way we're headed there. It says here, we're going to expose the parasitic beliefs that have been eating away at your potential and replace them with a powerful blueprint for wealth. This isn't an academic exercise, it's a war for your financial freedom. Guys, underline that. It is a war for your financial freedom. Seriously, because if we don't get this done, where do we end up? That's what I'm talking about. Let's continue reading. On one side, you have broke beliefs, the excuses, the rationalization, and the mental traps. On the other, you have the wealth beliefs, the actions, the ownership, and the momentum. The choice is yours. I'll say that again. The choice is yours. And honestly, it is that simple. We just have to make a decision. Now, let's keep reading. First, let's be clear about something. Those broke beliefs aren't character flaws, they are often inherited scripts. Think about it. All right. We learn from our parents, we learn them from our parents, and absorb them from our social circles or adopt them as defense mechanism after a financial setback. While they may not be your fault, it is your responsibility to challenge and rewrite them. The first step is recognizing them for what they are: outdated software that needs an upgrade. Broke belief number one: I can't afford it. This is the phrase of victims. This is a statement of powerlessness that hands your financial future over to your current circumstances. Wow. It shuts down all possibilities and accepts scarcity as your final destination. It tells the world, I have no control. Pretty sad state of affairs there, but that is the broke belief. Now let's look at the wealth belief. Wealth belief number one: how can I afford it? This is the phrase of a leader. It's a statement of radical ownership that opens up a world of creative solutions. It shifts your brain from a passive state of no to an active state of how. This belief doesn't mean you should buy everything you want. It means you are actively seeking ways to create the resources to get what you want, get what you need, and what you desire. It is the language of an entrepreneur, a problem solver, and builder. Let me read that again. See, it is the language of an entrepreneur, a problem solver, and a builder. Wow. Guys, I mean, you think about it. Again, we talk about beliefs, the mindset. There's a paradigm shift that has to happen if we're going to win. And if we don't find a way to make that shift, we're going to be stuck right where we are this time next year, this time 5 years from now. How far along are you today toward your goal compared to where you were 2 years ago? What sort of commitment have you made? What sort of new thinking has been developed in order to get you there? The Bible speaks of renewing your mind. And this is the critical thing, guys, that we have to do. Guys, hang on one second. I got the CEO and founder of MWR calling me this morning. And hey, Mr. House.
Hey,
I'm on the.
Buddy?
We're the reading club, and I'm the reader today. So you.
Oh well, go read. Go read. Hey, call me back when you're done. I got something I wanted to ask you.
You got it, buddy. Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Tell everybody I said hey.
They hear you. Hey guys. Bye. All right, guys. There you go, man. Listen. So I wonder what that conversation is going to be about. So, guys, once again, sorry for the interruption. I've turned my phone off. So again, where are we in the way of the mindset that we're developing in order to reach the goals that we seek? Please always understand that what you want to achieve or what we're trying to achieve in our lives is not everybody is willing to pay the price. Not everybody will ever get there, but those who want it bad enough will find a way. But it starts with our thinking, right? So now let's go on. We're on page 15 now. And it talks about the story of two friends. Imagine two friends, both with a passion for building websites, see a powerful online course that would transform their skills and their careers. The course costs $1,500. The first friend immediately says, I can't afford it. The conversation ends. The second friend, after a moment of thought, pulls out a notebook and starts brainstorming. Okay, how could I make this happen? How could I could sell my old camera on eBay, pick up 2 extra freelance shifts, or maybe they have a payment plan. The first friend stayed broke. The second found a way. You see the difference there in the mindset. So let's go to broke belief number 2. The rich are greedy / lucky. This is the language of resentment. This belief serves one purpose: to justify your lack of success by demonizing others who have achieved it. It's a zero-sum mentality that says if someone else is winning, you must be losing. This kind of thinking propels the very abundance you claim to want. Whoa. Heavy stuff. Hey, guys, I'm going to stop right there before we go to page 16, because we get into all of these beliefs, wealth beliefs and broke belief. From what we've read so far, your thoughts, any comments from anyone?
Good morning, it's Monifa here.
Good morning, Monifa. How are you, ma'am?
Great morning, awesome reads thus far. What I was hearing, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's cold out here in New York, and as you can see, I'm out here in it. But what I was hearing, you speak very loud and clear, so I can really hear you good. So I just want to say that you're doing an outstanding job by projecting your voice. However, what I was hearing was a war between the spirit and the flesh. A war between on how you feel and what they think. It's a double nuance that I'm hearing here. It's what you choose to believe. What are you putting in you, as we stated in the previous chapters? What are we putting in? What are we downloading in us? That have us with this belief that we're less than, that we're not worthy, that we don't have. So I'm loving this part of the chapter, and I got to get back to work. I love you guys.
Good deal. Thank you, Monifa.
You're welcome.
Stay warm out there.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Speaking of weather, we're anticipating some very serious weather here in North Carolina today, beginning sometime this afternoon. Snow and ice storms. So if you're in the area, if it's going to hit your area, please stay safe. Okay. Anybody else before we move on? David, good to see you, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Parker. Yes, our thoughts begin or are influenced by our beliefs. And we know that thoughts are things. And our thoughts then develop into our actions.
Wow.
So our belief system is the root that we have to make sure is cultivated and is planted in good soil, so that our thoughts and actions will produce fruit that will sustain us throughout our lives. So this is a good chapter, because we all know from being in this business for any length of time that mindset is the most important thing that we have that will guide us, because circumstances in life are going to continue to come at us no matter what we do. I mean, look at today, like you just said, the weather. Some people will look at it and say, "Oh my God, I can't do this, I can't do." But then others will say, "You know what? Today's a good day for me to reach out to my network, because guess what? They ain't going nowhere. They're gonna be right there in their house. What else they gonna do? They can't tell me they're going to the mall today. It's 4 inches of snow on the ground, and it's -8 here in Detroit. So this is a perfect opportunity for sharing what we have in our hands. Thank you.
No, David, thank you. You really touched on something there. We talked about that mindset, and it is that's the root. And that's what we have to really tap into and understand, because there's no limitation to the mind except those we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. And Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. That's where I get that quote from. And it makes all the difference in the world. But 8 degrees in Detroit, my friend, listen, and I thought it was cold.
-8, sir.
-8. Whoa. and I thought it was cold here in North Carolina. Listen, I'm going to stop complaining after hearing that. But guys, and David, you got it right too. Those people are locked in today. Many people across the country, particularly the eastern part of the United States, are going to be locked down today. They're not going to be able to do much this afternoon going into Monday. So you got the weekend to make those phone calls, because they're in place, no question about it. There won't be any hanging out at the mall today. So now you've got a chance. Now you're going to turn that negative snowstorm, that situation, into something positive. Now you use that time to be productive and reach out to people. See, guys, that's what it's all about. Because as David said, some people are going to say, "Oh, doom and gloom. It's cold, it's ice, it's snow, it's -8 degrees. I'm done for the day. I'm not going to try to do anything. I'm just going to kind of sit here and complain and never get anything done." But David turns it into a positive. But that's the mindset. And that's what it's all about, guys. Anybody else before we move forward? David, thank you so much.
Hey, good morning, Dr. Parker. Eric Wilner here,
friend.
labeled as iPhone here in this quite nice, mild, tropical morning here in South Florida. So I hate to rub that into all my friends across the country.
He's rubbing it in. He's rubbing it in.
We're going to be having an outdoor by the pool cocktail hour today at 4 o'clock. So everybody is invited. Anyway, on a more serious note, Monifa, she touched on it. David Gibson went deeper on it. But, you can summarize all of this really in one question that we learned in one of the previous books that we were reading, which is, you can ask, why did this happen to me? Or you can ask, why did this happen for me? And when you shift and you take, whether it's the weather, as you were just talking about, or some event in your life, there's always a reason that it happened for you. And consider that a gift, because if you can see what it is, and a lot of times we don't see it right away. Why did my my relative pass away? Why did why did I lose my job? A lot of times it's a door opening somewhere else. So I think what it all boils down to is the questions that we ask ourselves.
Pretty heavy stuff, Eric, but you're absolutely right. Is it happening to me or is it happening for me? I mean, again, it just goes back to that root of mindset. That is the critical piece, and that's what we have to develop, and that's what we have to work on, and that's why we're part of these reading clubs, and we surround ourselves with like-minded individuals like we have here today. Because I'm convinced that everyone on this platform this morning, we think the same, and we have a belief system, and that's what brings us together, and that's why we win. And we just want to pour that into other people and help them understand that they have the ability to win as well. Thank you, Eric, so much. Anybody else?
Dr. GW.
Yes, sir, Fernando.
Hey, I like hearing David, Eric, Munifa, how we can shift gears once we become conscious, because everything that we do a certain way gives us the same results we're having, and we just don't know how to change them. But a book like this allows you to shift gears to understand exactly what is it that you need to correct, where you need to redirect your energy. That's why the title of the book is so important to understand. Get excited or stay broke forever. Right. So if you have a level of excitement, you're open to learning. But if you're, depressed, stressed, complaining, you're not open to learn. You think that the way it is, it's the way it's gonna be. But these books create such a conscientiousness for us to be able to shift gears, and we have to re-educate our level of energy and how we're feeling. See, at this point in time, I would like to ask everyone, by the participation of each and every one of you in the chat, put a fire emoji right now if I'm touching you. Maybe you're thinking about something that happened this past week. You're not where you want to be, but all of a sudden, right, you're creating conscientiousness by being here this morning and knowing that you can shift gears. So put a fire emoji if something is shifting right now. This is why it's so important for us to come together Saturdays to be able to shift from our week, our responsibilities, our challenges. We come here and re-energize ourselves, coming together. So Dr. G.W. Parker, that's all I can say. I'm shifting like completely, right? Because we all go through stuff, but do we react or do we respond is the question.
You know what? You said something profound there, Fernando. We're here to kind of get re-energized, and that's why these events on Saturday morning are so important. I used to wonder, all of us have been to a gas station. My grandfather used to call them filling stations, right? And not clearly understand. You go there, you fill your car with gas. So the term, I assume, was developed then. But this is a filling station. We come here to get filled. We come here to get poured into, to re-energize ourselves, to fill our tank so that we can keep moving forward. And imagine doing this every single day. And that's why it's so important to keep the connection with like-minded individuals so that you can be around it. Because if you hang around it long enough, you become it. Honestly, I don't care, negative or positive. You hang around it long enough, you become it. It rubs off. I don't care how strong your mindset is. If you see it enough and you hang around it enough, you naturally gravitate toward that thing. So that's why it's so important to be very selective in the folks that you spend time with and who you hang out with. This is so critical, man. So let's keep reading, guys. We're on page 16 now. We're talking about wealth belief number 2. And we're talking about the broke belief and the wealth belief, the difference between the two. So we'll go with wealth belief number 2. The rich are problem solvers who create value. This is the language of opportunity. You understand that wealth is a result of solving problems for a large number of people. We're in the right business. We're solving problems with our MWR platform. All right. You see successful people not as a threat, but as a roadmap. Wow. Success leaves clues. Their wealth is proof of what's possible. I'll say that again. Their wealth is proof of what's possible. Instead of resenting them, you study them. You ask, what problems are they solving? How can I create value? Now that is strong as thunder right there. I like that. That is really, really powerful. Let's go to broke belief number 3. I'll save what's left over. This is the hope strategy. It assumes that money will magically be left over at the end of the month after you spent on everything else. The reality is there's always something else to spend on. This belief ensures that your savings account and your future will stay empty. Whew. Oh, we're hitting hard here. Let's go to wealth belief number 3. I pay myself first. Guys, these are strong principles here. This is the bill strategy. You treat your savings and investment as a non-negotiable expense. The first percentage of every paycheck goes directly into an account you don't touch. This isn't an option, it's a command. All right. This simple act of discipline builds a foundation of financial security and teaches you to live on what's left, not save what's left. Powerful. All right. We're going to the bottom of page 16. Do this now. Stop reading. Take this advice, guys. Stop reading. All right. Open your banking app right now and set an automatic transfer of 1% of your next paycheck to your savings account. I follow this principle, honestly, and I do it consistently. And the thing that excites me, Monifa, is to see the build, meaning the growth in that account. Every single day or week or month, it kind of inches up more and more and more. And it's the discipline that I've had to develop in order to make that happen. But it's so exciting to see the growth of this money as it compounds itself. Now, you won't miss it, but you will have just started the most important wealth building habit of your life. I want to stay here for a moment and I want to read this again. Do this now. It says stop reading. All right. Open your banking app right now and set an automatic transfer of just 1% of your next paycheck to your savings account. You won't miss it, but you will have started the most important wealth building habit of your life. Let's talk about that.
You just made me purchase another ounce of silver.
Even with the silver purchases, Fernando, when I do that and I'm consistently doing it on a weekly basis, to see that growth, because a lot of people are caught up in they want to see it quickly, right? Instant gratification, I believe it's called. With the process of buying the silver and being able to go to your back office and sign the rental agreement and actually see your earnings immediately, to me is quite satisfying. But even more powerful is the fact that I'm stacking silver and increasing the value of that portfolio every time I make a purchase, which is going to give me a greater return every single month. And that's the strong point for me, man, to be able to see it, to witness it, to watch it grow. It's like raising a child, if you will. So it is the most powerful thing that I'm doing. That really, really helps me create the discipline. Because if you don't have the discipline, you won't see that account flourish. You won't see it grow. But I'm seeing these things grow, whether it be my savings account, my investment account, my silver purchases. It's happening every single day. And I can look at it and see, man, look where I've come from a week ago. What does it look like a month from now? And I start thinking like that. So that keeps me structured. That keeps me disciplined. There are many things that I'd like to purchase or would want to have, but don't necessarily need those things. But what I need is to build a future for myself and my children. That is the need. That is the desire. That's what we must do to build that foundation. So we don't spend the rest of our lives working to generate income to maintain some quality of life. Anybody else?
Yeah, this is Ron. You mentioned a word there that's really powerful, and that's habit.
Wow.
If you look, your life is really just a series of habits. And then you choose which habit you want to work with. You get up in the morning, you walk to the coffee pot, turn the coffee pot, hit the bathroom, take the shower, come back out, pick up the coffee, come back, sit down, and watch a YouTube video. Oh boy, what did I accomplish? Well, I'm cleaner. Well, is that the habit I want to go forward with the rest of my day? Choose another habit. And the other thing that I learned recently is you can't change a habit. It's in there. What you can do is replace it. So choose which habits, which is what you're saying here, choose which habits you really want to create today for your life. You want to stay in that habit, or do you want to put 1% away consistently? And a habit is something that is simply consistent. So look at your life, see what the habits are doing, and replace the habits you don't like. That's not getting you where you want to be.
You're speaking truth to power, Ron. I'm telling you, that is strong as thunder, what you've just said here. And it is your habits. It absolutely is your habits. They can help you grow, or they can destroy you. And so we really have got to be careful there about the habits. But like you say, we have the ability to replace those habits. Guys, at the end of the day, what do we want? We want results, right? We want to be able to say that from morning till evening, at the end of the day, we have accomplished something. We have done something. We don't want to just be busy, but we want to be getting things done that move us forward. Strict discipline required. Yes. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Anybody else before we move on?
You know, I'm going to take a left turn on you.
Okay.
First of all, have you ever read the book Profit First?
No, sir, but I will after today. Absolutely. I want to get that one.
I recommend it for everybody, because you took a page right out of the book when you were talking about paying yourself first. You know,
Wow.
that's another great little habit. And so you can see there's an entire book just on that statement that you made.
That's
And
strong.
what he talks about is that, you know, we pay all our bills and try to keep up with our expenses and then save what's left, and there's never anything left, right? But think about when you have a tube of toothpaste, right? In the beginning, you put a big dab of toothpaste on your brush, but as you're getting to the end, right, you start putting a little bit less and a little bit less, and you make that tube last longer. Okay, that's the same thing that we do with money. If we were to pay ourselves first, right, put a healthy dab in our accounts, and then at the end of the month, you'll start saying, no, you know what, I can't go out to dinner tonight. No, I can't do this, you know. And the other thing that's very parallel to that, for those of you who've ever had a payroll deduction or United Way or something like that, you know, I worked for a bank once, and it was practically a requirement. You know, they didn't say it was a requirement, but if you didn't, you wouldn't get a promotion. They wouldn't look at you for different things. But what I noticed is that once that, you know, the payroll deduction for insurance and dental and United Way, I didn't miss it, right? Because then I started working in what was the net paycheck. And so today, what I have certain investments that go out every month automatically. I already know they're going out. And so, like what you're doing with silver, it just starts to grow and grow and grow on automatic pilot. And then a year later, you look back and you go like, wow, I would never have done that if I had invested with the last dollar instead of the first dollar. Back to you.
Strong as thunder, Eric Wilder. I love that. But the analogy with the toothpaste, that's what I do. I kid you not.
We all
and
do. We
Oh
all
my
do.
God. It's so ironic that you mentioned that, because I'm at the end of the tube of toothpaste that I'm using. So this morning, right, I did that very thing. I put a little, compared to the day that I bought that tube of toothpaste. I mean, oh, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. Guys, see, this thing ties right together, man. Life, it is quite, and you know, Eric, that helps me understand too that we're not all that different, any of us.
Nope. We all wake up, put one leg in our pants one at a time, brush our teeth, save our toothpaste.
Amazing. Good deal. Wow. David, you got something?
Yeah, I agree totally with Eric regarding the automatic deductions that come out of your paycheck when you're a W-2 employee. You don't miss it. You just look at your stub and you say, okay. And you know, the thing that I want to key in on I think we all know that that as human beings, it's easier, and it's been proven that when you take it off the top and you have to deal with what's left, you do that. You work with it. But
Right.
also the joy of seeing, like you said, that the account that you're depositing into continues to grow, and you
Right.
look at your accomplishment instead of dipping into it like I have been, unfortunately, I've done that in the past. You know, you put something away and you think you need it, or you actually do need it, and you go and dip into it, and then it decreases and you don't get the value that you initially intended to, because we know the magic of compound interest is in our favor when we allow it to work on our investments rather than on our liabilities. So we've got to be disciplined. And I did I stopped, and that's why it took me so long to come back. I was going to my Wells Fargo accounts and setting up those automatic drafts because I hadn't done it. And so, and that's another thing about being in an environment like this. One of the ideas that I found in this organization and in others is that when you're presented with an opportunity, and you say this during the presentation as well, you got to take action when it just makes sense. Why wait? Today is the only day you got, so you might as well do it right now. And so that's what I did. So thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely, David. Well, what a perfect segue. We're on page 17 and at the top, guys, and this ties right into what David just mentioned. We talk now about broke belief number 4. Now, listen to this, David, and see how it ties in. Broke belief number 4, it says, I need to know everything before I start. This is the language of inaction. It's a sophisticated form of procrastination disguised as intelligence. I've seen it a million times. You spend your life in analysis paralysis, waiting for the perfect market, the perfect idea, the perfect moment. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are waiting for a guarantee, and guarantees don't exist in the real world. Say no more. That is it. I'm dealing with a young man right now who is he's caught up. David, he paralysis analysis. He wants to know everything. Everything has to be absolutely perfect before he moves. I'm saying to him, I'm gonna leave you today, but I'll come back in 20 years, and if your mindset doesn't change, you'll be doing the same thing. It is time now to move. I mean, listen, so we're gonna make some mistakes. Who cares? You're doing something.
Mhm.
I mean, you're moving forward. You're attempting to do something. It's never going to be perfect, and no different than God leading me to write the book, right? And man, that other side of my brain started saying things like, "Oh, you need to add more. This is not right. It's not perfect. Timing is off, and all those kinds of things." And I just threw all that out the window. And I was like, "I'm throwing it out there. Let's just do it." And that's what brings me here. But we can get caught up in this, and it causes us to slow our growth. But I want to say to everyone in the audience today, there's never going to be a perfect day. There's never going to be a perfect moment. Just move. Just do something. Don't sit and wait for that perfect day, that perfect moment, because it's not coming. Anybody want to talk about that before we move forward? That one hit home right there.
Dr. Parker, you talk about you hit me right between the eyes, man. Uh one of my mentors he accused me of being a stone cold urchin. You know, that's the personality that has to have all the facts. Has to be,
Right.
and you know, it stems from an ego that says I can't be wrong. I can't tell somebody else
Mm,
something that I haven't tried or I haven't done, or you know, what if they ask me this, or what if they ask me, and what if they ask you? Tell them I don't know that right now, but I'll go find out. You know,
right.
again, you like you said, you can't break what we've got. You can't break it. So just use it. There's going to be
Wow.
change. Hey, we just got that memo from Mr. House through Telegram about the changes that are taking place. We got the new presentation that's good until February. I noticed it's got an expiration date. I was like, wow, okay, so they only planning to use this for a month. So you use it, And when it changes, you use that one, but you keep it moving. You know, that phrase, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Because the big mo is in our favor, and that's momentum. So we got to but you got to start the ball before it rolls.
No question about it, David. And speaking of that presentation and that expiration date, some will procrastinate and want it to be absolutely perfect for them in their efforts to present it. And by the time they get comfortable and decide that they will present it, we've changed it to something else. So I know that's got to be frustrating for those who really get caught up in that paralysis of analysis. We've got to move forward, and there's no greater time than now, guys, to get things done. Anybody else want to comment on this one before we take off to the next part?
Dr. GW.
Yes, sir.
I remember a mentor of mine always used to say in sales, when I experienced telemarketing after having a great experience in network marketing, right? He always used to say short-term satisfaction versus long-term gratification.
Wow.
And I think most of us are so accustomed to the short-term satisfaction. That's why we leave all the important things that can gratify your future. So shifting gears, the mentality of broke, right? I need it now. I want it now, rather than saying, hey, listen, let me cut this portion to do this so I can have my long-term gratification in regards to my decisions that I'm making today. Because every decision that is made today will have an effect in the next 90 days, in the next 3 years, and the next 5 years. See, that's why when you go into business for yourself, you don't make your decisions based on short-term satisfaction, because you got to roll up your sleeves and go to work versus long-term gratification. So it's a process. This is a gradual decision that you're making when you comprehend that. That's why this reading this morning is so important, to understand short-term satisfaction versus long-term gratification.
You're so right, Fernando. That's powerful. Once again, man, we speak truth to power here. And anybody else? Any comments before we move on to wealth belief number 4? We're talking wealth beliefs and broke beliefs, the difference between the two. All right, so let's go on. Wealth belief number 4. I start before I'm ready. This is the language of momentum. All right, you understand the imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. Let me read that one again. You understand that imperfect action, all right, right or wrong, whether you got it figured out or not, you're doing something, beats perfect inaction every single time. You know that the market and the opportunity will change whether you act or not. You are not a spectator, you're a player. Get off the bench, man. You're not a spectator, you're a player. You learn by doing, you fail forward, and you correct your course as you go. You build the ship while you're sailing. Ties right into what David talked about. This is powerful, guys. Think about it. I'll read that again. You learn by doing, you fail forward, and you correct your course as you go. You build the ship while you're sailing. I know we got something to talk about. We got something to say about that one. Anybody?
There's a physics statement or law that says nothing happens until something moves. That applies to this also. Another thing about the concept is, if you're not moving, you feel like you're going nowhere, because you're not. But if you just move, you'll feel better about what you've done. Just the movement. In other words, just picking up the phone once feels better than regretting not picking it up at all.
Ron, that's very powerful, sir. Thank you so much for that. Wow. Anybody else?
You ready to talk sports, Dr. Parker?
Yes, sir.
All right, because what you said, you know, it's a scary thought. Think about this. You said build the ship while you're sailing. How am I sailing and then building the ship at the same time? But it's the fact that you're on the water, and you may, you know, add something that's necessary to get you even further than where you were. And it also reminded me of a book that I read that talked about pivoting. You know, we the future is not guaranteed. You think you already said that. We don't know what's going to happen just tomorrow. We plan, but we don't know for sure. But we still take if you don't take that step, another, just real quick, man, so many things are coming to mind when I think about this. But in basketball, when you're driving down the lane and somebody jumps in front of you, what are you going to do? You're going to crash into them, or are you going to pivot, turn, and score? You know, that's one of your options. Another thing is, I don't know if anybody ever saw this movie, one of the Indiana Jones trilogy, where he had to, in order to see the bridge that was going to get into the other side of this cavern, he had to take that first step. And when he did, the bridge appeared and he was able to walk across. Otherwise, he wouldn't have seen it. It was invisible until he took that first step. And that's a powerful thought and memory in my mind, just from a pretty nice movie. So always be ready to pivot, number one, if things aren't going your way, like in course correction, or just, hey, take that first leap of faith and see where you land.
Take that first step. David, had he not taken that first step, he would have never realized that the bridge was there. And so, guys, that's what we've got to do. You know, there's a lot that holds us up, fear, doubt, all those kinds of things, but we've got to take action. We've got to move. The book talks about failing forward, you know, and we'll make the adjustments as we go, but start doing something. Don't sit idle and do nothing, because again, if nothing changes, then nothing changes. Goes right back to our attitude, our mentality. It is totally up to us. It's the mindset. It's a powerful thing, your mind, you know, our minds. It can do anything. It can achieve anything it sets out to do. But you've got to have a core belief deep within you to know that these things are possible. Anybody else before we move to the next one? All right, we go now again, page 17, momentum challenge. All right, identify one small financial or career goal you've been procrastinating on. In the next 5 minutes, take the smallest possible step toward it. Send the email, register the domain name, write the first sentence of the business plan. Imperfect action creates momentum. The choice is yours. You can cling to the broke beliefs that are keeping you stuck, or you can begin the daily disciplined work of adopting the wealth beliefs that will set you free. This is not about being born into money. It's about choosing a mindset that builds it. The work, ladies and gentlemen, begins now. That's it. I'd like to have some discussion on that one. We're at the end of page 17, and that covers chapter 5. These are short chapters, but I'm prayerful that you'll find them powerful. And these discussions, a lot of the discussions, because I think it hits home for all of us, myself included. But the momentum challenge, I want to read that again. Identify one small financial or career goal you've been procrastinating on. Let's think about it. Are there things that we've been procrastinating on? I would say most of us would have one or two things, possibly things that you want to do or want to accomplish. All right. In the next 5 minutes, it says, take the smallest step towards it. Do something that moves you toward that thing. Even if it's sending an email, register the domain name, write the first sentence of the business plan. Imperfect action creates momentum. But we go deeper here. The choice is yours. It's up to you and me. All right. You can cling to the broke beliefs that are keeping you stuck, or you can begin the daily disciplined work of adopting the wealth beliefs that will set you free. See, this is not about being born into money. It's about choosing a mindset that builds it. The work begins now. Whew, heavy stuff. Any comments, guys?
Yeah, I do. What you're saying goes back to just getting something to move.
Yes,
it also
sir.
combines the beginning of this read, which was the mindset. So it's good to have an awakening, an aha moment where you say, oh my gosh, all I got to do is make a phone call and I'll make a movement. Yep, that's a start.
Wow.
So all you got to do, not all, there's plenty to do. but just making some decision or a different way to look at something, and then choosing a different way to look at something, and then just taking that first smallest action to get to where you want to go. Because you're going to see it different once you take that action. But you got to move to get to where you
You gotta
want to go.
move. Ron, I say you said it. You said again that I mean, powerful stuff. You got to move. We've got to move. We can't sit idle. We have got to move. Move toward that thing. The smallest step is a beginning. I mean, we can't sit on it. We can't procrastinate. We can't wait. Whatever it is, my grandfather used to always say to me, "Whatever it is you're going to do, Gerald, you need to go and do it now. Just do it. Do something, but do it. Whatever it is you're going to do." Get it done. Just move towards it. And here's the other thing that I'm finding out too. When you find the faith to begin to take that step to move forward toward that thing, you would be shocked at the number of doors that begin to open. Almost as if people were saying to me, "We've been waiting for you." Well, this door's been open. You finally arrived. They've said we've been waiting for you. I mean, the book alone has created a whole new set of relationships, opportunities. It's amazing. I've been invited to speak, to do book signings, all of those things. And here's the thing that really kind of blows my mind about the book. As hesitant as I was, this is a project 7 years in the making. But finally, I was moved to finish it, and so it's available on Amazon. I thank all of you who've made a purchase, but there are many people who have. And David, here's the thing that I didn't understand about when you write a book and you have it published. You create a situation that causes or triggers a residual income. It's amazing. I get these notifications from Amazon every quarter saying, "Okay, your check's on the way," or "We're about to deposit money into your account that you set up." These are royalties from the sale of the book. I wrote the book one time, and I continue to get paid on it over and over and over again. And this is endless. There's no limit to this. The book will be on the shelves at Amazon for an eternity. And so I'm like, this is amazing to me. So what it's done, getting past the fear to take the action has created another stream of income. David, whether I get out of bed or not, we're prayerful that somebody in America is going to see this book and buy it and maybe be moved by it and refer to somebody else. And while I'm sleeping, I'm generating income. And that's the most fascinating part to me about all of this. What we put in motion just by taking the step, doing it, taking some action. And all of you, I'm sure, have a book in you. And I suggest today you begin to write. Put pen to pad today, even if it's just a paragraph. Put your thoughts on paper. Tell your story and watch what happens. There are many people out here waiting to hear from you. And I had no idea there were so many people. And then also this allows me to be surrounded by other authors. I've joined these other platforms of young authors and all that. And you know what door that is open for me? I'm introducing all of those new authors to MWR. So as a result of that, my MWR business has grown and will continue to grow. I made the move. I quit procrastinating. I quit thinking about it, quit waiting for the perfect day, the perfect moment, and I made the move. And then in the process of trying to write the book, David, I got stuck and needed help. And I said, Lord, just lead me to someone. And I just Googled some stuff on the internet and kind of reached out to get some assistance and found a young man that helped me finish the process. To get me across the finish line so that the book could be published. So guys, make the move. All the doors will open. You've just got to make the move. Go ahead, sir.
Dr. Parker, you hit on too many nuggets right there, but I'm gonna just talk about two real quick. Number one is that you just confirmed the big mo. You just given us a live example of what happens when you take that first step and then momentum takes over. Because now you've got a synergistic alliance between your authorship and your MWR business, which you're so solid on anyway. And now one's feeding into the other and vice versa. But personally, I want to say that that thing about doing it, I missed for 2 weeks, I missed this forum, and I wanted to be here when I first saw the flyer come through on the chat, and I slept through it both times, and I set an alarm. The between the first and this time, I set an alarm, slept through that, but this morning it was on my mind. I was still in a state of semi-consciousness, and I knew I wanted to be here. I said 9:30. My alarm went off. I heard it, got up. Okay, I'm ready. I am so thankful, number one, that you wrote the book, and number two, that you set this forum up for us to participate in, and the fact that the confirmation for me personally is that I needed to be here today for these pages that you just read, which are just saying, you know what, it's time to get up. It's time to get in the game, because you've been sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else get their stats up. When are you going? The coaches call, hey, your number's been called. Time to show out. Show up. Show out. Let's do it. Thank you again for all that you do.
Oh, listen, my pleasure, my friend. And I'm so grateful that you have gotten something from this, and you guys are pouring into me, and I'm getting just as much out of it as you do. David, your story inspires me. The fact that this has helped you has helped me. And guys, that's what it's all about. So we've got a lot of conversation to have here. We'll start with Mr. Jay Early, and Cassandra Wooten, you are up next. Go ahead, sir, out of Germany, Mr. Early.
For me, it's afternoon, but good morning to you. You said something about 3 or 4 times that you actually gave away what I call the magic sauce in it, because you mentioned your connection with our Maker. Okay, and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to give you an example as to how powerful that connection is, because when I made a decision to come back to the company, it was a spiritual decision. Okay.
Wow.
Now, I'm gonna give this example and then I'm done. And I got the proof of it in a video. All right. This morning I woke up an hour earlier than I normally wake up. Okay, because when I get into something really that I really believe in, it was the same way when I was in the insurance industry, the financial planning business. I can't sleep. I think about how to do something, and then you go to sleep. But before you go to sleep, you ask the Holy Spirit, you ask God to send you messages through the Holy Spirit. Okay. Now, this morning I woke up 7:30 and I had a presentation. I had been thinking about this, making a recruiting tape, right? Or presentation. I had the outline and I got up real quick and just wrote down some notes. And then I hooked up with my buddy on Chat GPT, and by 10 o'clock, I had the slides, the presentation all together, and by 1 o'clock, it's already produced. Okay. Wow. So what and you know this, but I'm just telling those that be here that might not. What you have to do for what you want, you have to first speak it out to the universe. But then when you speak it out, then you have to believe it's going to come back to you.
Yeah.
Because you talked about taking that first step. The first step, you have to take the first step, because then you have to receive guidance as to where you're going. And the Holy Spirit can't direct you if you don't take a step. If you're just sitting there waiting, you're going to be waiting till midnight. You're not going to get any results. But once you take a step, then someone's going to tell you, oh, no. You got to make a left here. No, wait, go. There's a detour. Go that way. But as long as you're sitting there, like you said, that book would never get written. My presentation would never got done in speed time. And the format was just so beautiful. I know I didn't do it.
Wow.
I know I didn't do it. So I pray that reaches somebody, that everyone here, you are a top 1% earner. It starts right there. And once you open this and you speak it out, then guess what? The universe, God, has to give it back to you. But as long as you sip and don't take any steps, well, as Grandma said, you be sitting here till the next snow come, because there's nothing gonna happen. And I'll leave you with that one for right now. But yes, this powerful book. I'm supposed to have it today. I'm gonna be honest. I was supposed to order it 2 days ago because I got that overnight thing. I forgot.
Yes.
But I guarantee you, I have it here on my table next week. Thank you for
God
what you.
bless you, sir. No, thank you, Mr. Early. Listen, you said something that was very powerful, and you speak of the Holy Spirit. And guys, Mr. Early hit it. I mean, he hit it out of the park, because that is the action, right? When you speak these things, the Bible says that we speak these things as if they are, right? And with the faith, with the belief. And when we talk about putting it out to the universe, it will come back, because God says, okay, I hear you. And that's when everything shows up, like what you were able to complete, because you took the action, you had the faith, the universe heard, and it came back to you. The pieces that were needed to complete the assignment were given to you. And that, I mean, where does all that come from, right? So there's that interaction. The Holy Spirit, man, it is so powerful. That's why it's so important that we move. When Miss Early, I'll share this with you real quick. When I made the decision that I wanted to complete this assignment, meaning finish the book, and I took the first steps, I said, Lord, guide me, help me. The words almost magically came. And the stuff that I had been trying to put on paper, I toy with it and then walk away from it and just couldn't quite put it all together. How do I finish this? But when I prayed to God to guide me and to lead me, and I put pen to pad, Mr. Early, I stayed up all night long until the sun rose the next morning, and I'm still writing. I was not tired. I had this incredible energy, and the thoughts just kept coming, and they kept coming, and they kept coming. Before you know it, I was like, this is amazing. So I truly appreciate you adding that piece this morning. Go ahead, sir. Mr. Early, did you have something else before we go to Miss Wooten?
Oh, no. I was done. I was dealing with what you were saying. Yeah.
Yes,
I just experienced it this morning, so I know exactly what you're saying. 100%. Wow. I'm in agreement. 100%.
Absolutely, sir. Miss Cassandra Wooten, you were up.
Good morning, everybody. Oh my God. I mean, y'all hitting home. I mean, Mr. Early, you hit it on the button. Dr. Parker, you're doing an excellent read this morning. This takes it home. I mean, we deal with daily lives and we deal with daily people, everybody's, and then now it's like, it's time to move. I was quiet for a while. I said, you know what? And nothing's perfect. And I was listening to what David was saying. You're waiting to that perfect time, that perfect, nothing's going to be perfect. Anything that you do is not going to be extremely perfect unless you make that move. And so just dealing with a lot of stuff and got people in your ear and saying, negative things to you and stuff, it takes a toll on you. But, I know what my God said, And so my thing is just taking that first move and that first step and stop procrastinating. And, you're just pouring into me. I know that, what I accomplished so far, it's been nothing but a blessing. And so, so I appreciate all the reading. This is like my feedback, my energy that every morning I wake up and I can't wait until Saturday. I can't wait till our book reading, because y'all pour into you pour into me, and it's just like, you're not alone, sometimes you feel alone, but you're not. So it's just just keeping that faith and keep moving and believing in what you have accomplished and what you have done and so far. And I'm probably going to write my book. And
I
so
think you
thank you
should.
for the reading this morning. Thank you for inspiration. I am so grateful to be a part of this reading group.
Absolutely, Ms. Wooten. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you as well. And guys, we got 2 more comments, and then we're going to transition over. Fernando, I'm sending you a text message from the CEO and founder, Mr. Brian House, who wants to join your platform in the next hour. So we're going to get him the link. And looks like, Eric, you're going to have a special guest with you. He's asked if we wanted a special guest on our 1045 training. Fernando Ramirez, your thoughts?
Well, I think it's an add-on to see, this is what I like. This is why I like what we do. You know, our CEO, obviously, as everyone has alluded to, we're constantly transforming things to improve what we have. And I can appreciate 3.5 years, almost going on 4, this transformation. Why? Because what is it that we want? Why are we here? Obviously, we want to live the lives of our dreams. So if he's going to join us, I can guarantee you he's got something great to share with all of us. And we had planned the way it was planned, but we'll make the adjustments and we're gonna make it fun. That's a privilege having our CEO join us this morning to be able to celebrate with us so we can all get trained. But yeah, we had something already set up, but we can make the adjustments for sure.
All right. If you're good with that, sir, I'll confirm and say, yeah, we'll give him a shot to hang out with us. Even he needs to be poured into, right? So we're adding something to his Saturday as well. Jameson Road, Ron Copeland, the last 2 comments, and then we're going to wrap it up and make this transition. Go ahead, guys.
Oh man, I just can only say this has been a very amazing day, read, time. Thank you for all the comments. And the one that I'm really hitting home today is doors open. It all goes back to building from the beginning of the chapter to now, from the end of the chapter, from choosing to think, how can I? Choosing to take the daily action, choosing to just find the help, choosing to take the action and having the focus, because then things start to align. All these, your actions and your thoughts, your beliefs, your vision, everything starts to align, creating the momentum that was speaks about. And then doors that you become aware of, doors that were not, that possibly weren't even there before, because your thoughts, your mind, your attention starts to align, and you start seeing things that you didn't see before, because you're just in the spirit. We'll call it in the spirit of that, and everything, all the energy just starts to align, and it just starts pouring into you as you pour out and add value to the world. Energy pours back into you naturally. It just has to. It's you become a magnet for that and that thought, that focus, that energy, until you're magnetizing assistance to, and they're propelling you because of what you're giving out. It's just an amazing thing. And Dr. Parker, you are clearly example of how you pour out into the world and how it comes back. And it's just an amazing thing. Thank you very much for this read. Thank you very much for this book. And thank you for all the comments. They're amazing. Thank you.
No, sir. Thank you, Jameson. Truly a pleasure, man, to have you a part of our family. And guys, this is what it's all about. We want to win, and we want everybody around us to win. And we want to create platforms that will allow you to be poured into, to grow, to get motivated, to be motivated, to get, to learn. And we've got a chance to do it. Fernando, Ron, before I bring you on, because we're going to hold here. This is going to be the platform that we'll transition into. But I'm going to encourage all of you to send out those last minute texts and make those last minute phone calls, simply because He just called me back. This guy's calling me 3 times, and he wants to share some things with us that hasn't been shared with anyone else in the MWR. We get first look and at these pieces this morning that will be unveiled next week to the entire organization. So I said, hey, go ahead.
Quick question. So are we gonna postpone, like, you think we should postpone the conversation that we normally have Saturdays, which is a presentation, and then a portion of our training? When does he want to come in, on the training aspects or the presentation?
Well,